I'm looking pretty huge, bud. I mean, I don't know, bud. I'm looking a little chunky here, bud.
Summer flex, baby.
Yeah, summer flex.
No hands and no darling, I don't dance, and I'm with Roscoe, I'm with
Hey! Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the.
What's up, guys? We're out here, we're switching it up. Today we're making a video on if you should bulk, cut, really shred down, or what circumstance you should do if you should do a bulk. We're gonna go through it in detail. And what a better way than to go out on a bike ride, and we're gonna take you around our little journey with the bike ride. And we're gonna go through each one scientifically. It's gonna be unreal.
I got a GoPro going right now. We're
First pit stop.
yeah, this is our first pit stop. But anyways, honestly, guys, if I could pick one question that we're asked the most on our YouTube, our Snapchat and everything, it's, I'm 15% body fat. Should I cut? Should I bulk? What should I do? They'll send pictures. They'll be like, you know, asking all those type of questions. So basically what we're doing here is we're gonna tell you guys what you guys should exactly be doing. And for me, a rule of thumb is if I get to anywhere over 15% or over, I'll generally cut. Now, there's so many things to consider when choosing what you guys should do. There's a lot of factors, and a lot of the times it's a lot of you new lifters who have just been lifting for 6 months that ask this type of question. Now, one thing I want to tell you guys is if you guys set a goal, if your goal is to cut for this summer, stick to it. Don't switch every week because you're just gonna mess things up and you're not gonna hit any of the goals at all.
Okay, so like Kyle said, pick a goal, stick to it. We've got that point. A really good tip for myself as well as others that you need to consider is a start and end date, okay? So doing this will force you to stick to your time frame, not be that version of myself that's switching back and forth every week. So saying so, let's dive into the bulk, what it is, what it encompasses, and what it can do. Now, there's a bulk and there's a falk. A lot of you guys will use bulking as a crutch to not really care. It becomes an off-season mentality where you're just choking all over the place, stuffing your face down, using the excuse, it is a bulk. I did this myself in high school. I used to go eat McDonald's. I go, I'm bulking, bro. Like, what can you do? I'm doing what I'm doing. A bulk, like a cut, should be calculated. I've even heard things such as, a lot of people saying I don't train abs on my bulk. Well, when you're bulking, this is your time to grow. This is your time in a surplus. This is a time where you have a lot of potential energy expenditure to be used. You should be hitting abs harder. You should be lifting heavier. You should be pushing yourself to new limits. You should be doing it in a calculated approach like a cut. Your surpluses should be controlled, and you shouldn't be doing anything rash, like having offset days where you have 800 calories over maintenance, and then others where you have 3,000 calories over maintenance. This is going to turn into a falk, which we like to call a fat bulk.
Yeah, we're good.
Woo! House, it's where we just were.
Now guys, speed is absolutely everything to bulk. The faster you do it, generally the more muscle you'll gain, but you will also gain a lot more fat. If you do it slower, you'll gain lean muscle, and generally you will gain less fat. You have to question yourself and ask, what is my end goal? How much fat am I willing to put on? And where do I see myself?
Doesn't always mean the lean bulk is your go-to. Everyone wants to say, I'm doing a lean bulk, I'm not gaining much fat. The lean bulk has its benefits, but it also has its repercussions. If you're going on a lean bulk as a new lifter, Joe Blow A here goes on a lean bulk for 1 year. He's maybe gonna put on, as a new lifter, a very relative to small amount of muscle. Whereas if someone over here, Joe Blow B, goes out and he does a bigger bulk, 20% over maintenance, he's killing it. He's just eating, but he's doing it calculated and controlled. he's gonna gain so much more muscle than A over here because he has a new lifter benefit. That is a big factor. If you guys are newer lifters, I'd recommend not necessarily a bulk, but maybe above maintenance to fuel yourself, to fuel those newbie gains. So for myself and many other people, they'll claim that there are 4 ways to effectively do a bulk. Your maintenance is what you need basically to not gain, to not lose. So you can calculate your maintenance, and from that, a slow growth, your quote unquote lean bulk, would be 5% over your maintenance calories, okay guys? So this is where you're gonna see a little bit of muscle gain with very little fat gain, but both sides you have the consequence. You're not getting much muscle and you're not getting much fat, but you will be progressing. Next we kind of have your medium bulk. This is about 10% over. This is a little bit what I'd recommend for more experienced lifters. This is what myself and Kyle do. If you've been lifting for a while and you have less capacity to put on mass amounts of muscle, the slower and controlled approach is very good. So you're gonna get a good amount of muscle, a little bit of fat once again, but not a ton. Third one is gonna be your faster bulk. This is 15% over your maintenance. This one you're gonna be getting a lot of muscle, but you're gonna start to see a little bit more fat over time, and you might want to reduce the time span you're bulking at this measure. Now the last one, this is your 20%. This is crazy aggressive. I'd really recommend this for ectos that have trouble putting on muscle. They're newer lifters. You can go a bit more aggressive here. But if you find you can pack on weight pretty easy, I'd stay away from the 20, because you can put on a ton of muscle, don't get me wrong. You can put on serious amounts of muscle, but you're gonna put on just as much fat, and it's gonna be tough. And there's other negatives that come along with this. Psychologically, with the lean bulk, you're still in that controlled state, and switching to a cut isn't as hard. But with the harsh bulk, the 20% bulk, psychologically you can really let yourself go, you can let yourself get loose. Myself and Kyle both being here, you can see, here's me, really bulky me, then here's really bulky Kyle. It's gonna happen, it's kind of a fault, but Kyle's gonna talk about how it can potentially have its place in your life. All right, so one more quick tip, something I've been doing, something Layne Norton advocates for. He's got a lot of really good advice. If you guys don't know him, check him out. So what he does, he's a very experienced lifter, and what he does is he goes about 10% over for 4 to 6 weeks in a bulking phase with 2 weeks of a semi-aggressive cutting phase to minimize that fat gain he's putting on and to kind of help solidify that muscle's place with your physique. Once again, reenact that effective control so you're not feeling really lazy and sluggish in that bulking phase for an extended period of time. Extended. Blech.
Now, as a beginner bulker, you guys have a lot more capacity to grow. There's a lot of science. There's so many articles out there by guys like Lyle McDonald, Alan Aragon, who are highly regarded in the fitness industry, that put together the science of how much muscle you can actually gain in a year as a beginner. Now, I want you to keep in mind that this is an untrained individual. This is someone who is a beginner who has never worked out before. If you're a typical bro who has only done curls in the gym for a couple months or for a few days, or does chest like once every couple weeks, I would still consider you to be a beginner lifter. Now, for those of you who are in your first year of lifting, you guys can gain 20 to 25 pounds of muscle. So a lot of you guys will see that there's all those people who develop the noob gains, and this is why, because as a beginner, you can gain a lot more muscle. Now, in the second year, you guys can gain up to 10 to 12 pounds of muscle. Okay, so you guys can see that it's slowly decreasing. Into the third year, it's 5 to 6 pounds. And then someone like me who has been training for well over 4 years, I'm only gonna gain about 2 to 3 pounds of muscle. So it's gonna be a lot harder for me. So I want you guys to take all of this information that we've given you and decide where you guys should start. And I always tell guys who are beginning, who are 130, 150 pounds, who are in their first year of lifting, take advantage of the beginner gains, because Josh and myself, we're gonna put a picture right here of Josh and a picture right here of me. This is where we began. We started at like 130 to 150 pounds. We were super small, and we just took advantage and gained a lot of weight in our first year of lifting.
So these statistics at the end of the day are really good, but keep in mind progression is not linear. The body is always reactive in different ways for different individuals. Same with these statistics about muscle gain. If you're a 100-pound male, it'll be very different than if you're a 300-pound male. Different things will change depending on your body, your circumstance, and your activity level. Saying so, you need to be very proactive with your macros. If I'm going on a cut and I have them set, At 3,000 calories, I start my cut, I drop to 28 the first week, and I plan to drop 100 calories every week after. But the first week, I lose 5 pounds, way more than my targeted goal. Then I probably shouldn't change, and maybe I should react by upping my calories yet again. This is why it can get very complex, and I'd recommend getting a coach. If you guys are looking into coaching services, you can check out our website here. Let's dive into cutting.
All right, this is our next destination. Check it. Man, this is beautiful. So Josh is about to go down this steep hill.
Hopefully I won't.
All right guys, so when should you cut? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, for me, what I like to do is I like to cut in line with my goals. If I have a powerlifting competition where I need to meet a certain weight, if I have a certain event during the summer where I want
Summer flex, baby.
Yeah, summer flex like right now. So for me, that's basically it. But a lot of people, if you find you're getting out of control with your bulk, you're becoming too lazy, you're not happy with yourself, you're gaining a bit too much fat, then honestly, I would recommend starting to cut, just because you'll feel a lot more on top of yourself. Sometimes you'll feel better, but Josh also said 15% is what he likes to stick to, or for a lot of people he would recommend. But one thing I really want you to keep in mind is, for those of you who are 130 pounds, 10% body fat, who are extremely concerned with keeping the abs, I would recommend building a foundation, building a solid foundation. Don't worry about the cut, don't worry about the abs, they will still be there. If not, when you cut again, you will have a solid foundation to work off of. So that's what I would highly recommend. Cutting is very independent, but bulking, a lot of people don't take seriously enough. There's two different mistakes that you can make. You can become very lazy. You can say, you know what, screw it, I'm on a bulk. I'm gonna eat as much food as possible, go up to 250 pounds, and then they'll have a hard time losing it. And the second thing is, a lot of people just won't build that foundation to build the muscle that they need. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully you learned a lot. We're gonna do a full in-depth video on how to cut in the future, but stay tuned for next time. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we love you all. Peace.
Alright, so tell us if you like this video. This is really fun for us. I think we're going to do it more. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Nice scenery. We found it gets very linear and static. If we're just talking 10 minutes about something, it can bore the viewer as well. We're always trying to make it better, so come bike with us.
This is not easy, especially considering the fact that my camera weighs a ton. We might have to stick to the GoPro.
We're lost.
Yeah, we have no idea where we are, but
Let's figure it out.
we'll find a way.
Ready?